name's Paul. I served in the U.S. Air Force as enlisted and the Army as an officer for 24 years. I always had a childhood dream of being in the military, and I really liked the military and adapted to it quickly. You become a really tight family. Everybody depends on everybody else within your family. It's a big deal when you move, because really the only thing you bring with you is your family, so you stay really tight. The military has provided me with everything I have these days, including taking care of my family, so absolutely worth it. I would do it again in a heartbeat. Within the 24 years of moving, the one thing that we always tried to do was making our home a very nice place to live. When I retired, that was our goal. So we bought the nicest home that we could afford, something that we had plenty of room to improve on, and something that we can make a sanctuary for all our family members. We bought this house in 2015. When we first bought the house, the basement was not finished. We put about $60,000 worth of work into the basement. We did all the work ourselves, from framing, electrical, drywall, and plumbing. And we actually made it a really nice place for my mom and dad to live in. When that was all said and done, we decided to consolidate all that debt into the mortgage on the house. You know, that's how my story began with Veterans First Mortgage.
My initial contact with Paul, he had a concern, which is, am I getting a good deal or not? Am I making the right decision? Is the interest rate that you're offering me the best you can do? That's a common question that a lot of clients have, and that's really the question that Paul had.
Team at Veterans First Mortgage helped guide me through that. Sometimes the interest rate isn't always the best part of the story. Sometimes just achieving your goals is. So at that time when we refied, the interest rates were actually going up. We decided to go ahead and go with the refi, but they discussed the IRRRL program with the VA, and it's basically an opportunity for us to streamline our interest rate for little to no cost. So the goal for us working with Veterans First Mortgage was to consolidate as much debt as possible and get the debt to a lower interest rate, making one payment instead of several payments. And the interest rate was way more manageable than it was with, say, credit card or revolving debt. They talked me through it and helped us go down a path where it was very beneficial for us to refi the house at the time.
Did a debt consolidation or cash out refinance for him. Rates were a little bit higher at the time, but the overall savings was substantial.
He had the 5.5%, and he was wondering about whether that was something that he should stick with or not. We talked a lot about buy downs, different options. We talked about the IRRRL program that the VA has that they offer to veterans, and the strategies that you can execute regarding those.
The number one reason I keep coming back to Veteran First Mortgage is because I've used the same people to process my loan each time. Consistent, honest with me, easy to work with, and if I can express that to any of my friends, that would be the number one reason they should try Veterans First Mortgage. They take a personal interest in the clients that they have. My experiences are they care about what I think, to the point that they will call me at various times during the process and make sure I'm comfortable with everything that's going on.
I think the second time that he came back to us because we were basically fulfilling our promise. We actually reached out to him like we promised we would, and we let him know what was available to him. He was happy to hear about it.
The refi process was super quick. Even with the increase in people trying to get their mortgages because of the lower interest rate, the team was able to push my packet through, and they were able to get it done in, I thought, really good time, less than a month.
The true benefit and true difference between the IRRRL refinance in comparison to, like, say, a conventional loan refinance or what we call a full doc refinance, there's really just not a lot that we have to do in order to help somebody get through the process. And then on top of that, the fees are cheaper. There's no harm in getting numbers put together for you, right? And I think that once you do, you can make sense of whether it makes sense for your particular situation or not.
They already had all my paperwork on file for the IRRRL. They already had my VA certificate, so all they had to, and they already had the clear title. So all they had to do was do all the paperwork, send it to underwriting, And I think within 2 weeks, we went from, yep, let's do this, to closing. We've actually refinanced the house 2 additional times since then.
The rate reduction where we took him to a 2.75 cuts the interest that he'd pay just for the minimum payment.
For the first time in our life as homeowners, we're actually paying more on principal than we are in interest each month. And that team has been fantastic at helping us get through those processes.
So I've known Paul for about 3 years, and we've done about 3 transactions for him. From the cash out refinance and then the 2 rate reductions in total, it's saved him about 2 mortgage payments that somebody could be making. It's substantial what we've been able to do for Paul.
So with the savings, we bought a travel trailer for camping. So we have a nice travel trailer, not a used one. We bought brand new, a nice travel trailer. It's really comfortable for all of us when we go camping.
I mean, that's what I love about my job, to put somebody in a much better position. It's an honor that I'm able to help people do that.
Veterans First has been a great company to work with. They take a very personal interest in their clients, and they've been very successful at helping me get where I'm at. Hands down, they are the best I've worked with when it comes to the VA process.